South Africa has no plans to privatize Transnet and commemoration of 1992 Bishop massacre. With this update, I'm Khabi Malatsi. Public Enterprises Minister Malusi Gigaba says South Africa has no plans to privatize logistics group Transnet and power utility Eskom to attract more investment and has no intentions of splitting the companies. Gigaba says infrastructure development is the responsibility of the state, but expects the private sector to play a bigger role. Private investors have repeatedly said they could help relieve Eskom and Transnet's strained balance sheet and speed up much-needed development in power plants and rail lines. So far, investors have been limited by regulatory hurdles, but Gigaba says his ministry is developing a framework for how they should be involved in the sector. Gigaba says state firms are on track to meet borrowing target spelled out to them in the February budget, and that Transnet plans to borrow from the international market later this year. Scores of ANC members have gathered in Bisho to commemorate the 1992 Bisho massacre. Thousands of people marched to Bisho to demand the resignation of Ciskei homeland leader Oba Qozo. Makaya Komisa reports.
The march to the Ciskei homeland was led by senior ANC leaders, including the late SACP Secretary General Chris Hani, Cyril Ramaphosa, Steve Tshwete and Ronnie Castles. Ciskei Defence Force soldiers opened fire on the marchers with automatic weapons, killing 28 marchers and 1 soldier and injuring over 200 people. Yesterday, Arts and Culture Minister Paul Mashatile laid wreaths at the Bisho Massacre Monument as part of the heritage launch in the province. ANC provincial leaders are expected to attend the ceremony. Akaya Komisa, SABC News, Bisho.
The Nobel Women's Initiative is urging President Jacob Zuma to withdraw Justice Mogoeng's nomination as the next Chief Justice. The former laureates feel that many of Mogoeng's rulings undermine human rights by granting lenient sentences in cases of rape and domestic violence. Chairperson of the Sonke Gender Justice Network, Sisonke Nzimang, says the stance taken by the Nobel Women's Initiative isn't surprising.
I think we're very pleased that the Nobel Women Laureates have come up with the statement, particularly because it demonstrates that the world is watching South Africa at this important time. The Constitution of South Africa is one that people around the world have watched and have been inspired by, and I think that there's a deep sense of disappointment that we could be looking at a Chief Justice who may not embody all of the values that are in the Constitution.
And finally, the National Executive Committee of the African Reformed Church has suspended Archbishop Dumisani Mnisi for bringing the church into disrepute. Mnisi is facing charges of statutory rape. It is alleged that he impregnated a 14-year-old learner at Bizana in the Eastern Cape. Mnisi is also a councillor at Bizana local municipality. It is alleged that he forced her to terminate the pregnancy. African Reformed Church spokesperson Bishop Lizo Mtendandaba.
The African Reformed Church, we decided to stop Archbishop Mnisi on this congregation because of allegation of rape. Apologize to all the members of South Africa. Apologize to all the African people.
Catch latest news on the hour on SABC radio stations and anytime here on NewsBreak, option 1.